On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel's changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore. With FanDuel's Super Sub, if your player's subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. Visit FanDuel.com. Get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel.
21 plus select states for Kansas in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino. 18 plus DCKYWY. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org/chat. Connecticut. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Maryland. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org. Call 800-327-5050. Massachusetts. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY in New York. Call 877-770-7867. Louisiana.
Visit FanDuel.com. Get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Let's go right to General Jack Keane. General, you probably saw this. CENTCOM announced that as of half an hour ago, U.S. is striking targets in Iran in response to the helicopter that was downed by Iran. Of course, the U.S. Apache helicopter. Fill us in on the latest.
Well, certainly that's an appropriate response. Let's face it, Iranian was trying to kill two of our pilots, and we deserve to respond to that. And I think it's time for us to actually do a reassessment here, because when you think about it, we've been under a ceasefire since April the 8th, and for weeks the Iranians have been attacking in the Straits of Hormuz, trying to attack shipping that we've been passing through, the lane that we cleared. They've been doing that with drones, with fast boats. They've been attacking with missiles as well when we respond and defend the boats passing through. They've attacked our Gulf state partners, witnessed the attack about a week ago, less than a week, at the Kuwaiti airport, where dozens of people were wounded. At Terminal 1, many of us passed through the Kuwaiti International Airport many times, and they've attacked other Gulf states as well. This is all under the ceasefire. And then we finally have what is happening in Lebanon, where there's over 2,000 since the April 17th special ceasefire in Lebanon. The Iranian-backed proxies has attacked over using 2,000 rockets and drones against northern Israeli cities, forcing the evacuation of those towns and villages and the shutting of schools. The people are no longer living in their homes. Over 300 of them have been wounded. This, again, under the ceasefire. I think it's time for us to reassess where are we really? We have people talking to us nice about negotiations on the political side, and the IRGC, who is doing the attacking in the Straits of Hormuz against our Gulf partners and directing the attacks inside of Lebanon, and they're the ones that are in charge. And I think it undercuts the seriousness of making a deal here. And finally, we saw Iran attack Israel with 11 ballistic missiles. And to remind our audience here, a ballistic missile is a very lethal system, 2 to 3 stories high. And if it penetrated into a neighborhood where people were not in their bomb shelters, you could literally kill hundreds. And all of those 11 ballistic missiles were defeated, fortunately. So the Iranians have been violating the ceasefire since we went under the ceasefire for 2 months now. And does it still make sense to try to make a deal with them, given all this time and the fact that they're clearly undermining the ceasefire, which tells you who they really are?
General, the problem is, it seems like the problem is there's two Irans. So there's not, if we're negotiating with one Iran, the other Iran has possession of some of those missiles, and they're doing whatever they want. So there's not a united Iran. So if there's not a united Iran, if we're only negotiating with one side, we're still getting hit.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right, John. the reality is that the people that own the guns are the people that are really in charge. And they're providing security for the Ayatollah, who is, as we all know, his father, the Ayatollah, was killed, and this Ayatollah we've not seen at all. And they're providing security for him, and they're the ones that have contact with him. And listen, it really tells you about the intent of the Iranians. Even if they made a deal, as we've discussed many times, are they really going to live up to the implementation of it? Well, we know full well what they've done in the past. They've cheated and tried to reverse everything that they have agreed to. That is the path I think we're truly on. And I think it's a good time now, based on what was happening here, to trying to kill our pilots. Yes, respond with a hard response here. I'm sure Admiral Cooper is doing just that as we speak. But take a step back and take a look holistically. Is this really where we want to be with this regime? And should we reassess and consider bringing back military operations to finish this regime once and for all?
Judge Weinberg.
General, good to talk to you again. I couldn't agree with you more, sir. I mean, this is the problem. They're trying to play a waiting game. They're trying to outlast Trump. They think that the midterm elections will undercut Trump's authority. They're certainly confident that if they have another Democratic president, they can roll everything back, because everything will stand or fall on what Trump does. And if he doesn't get rid of this regime, you can be sure that you have no confidence at all in what comes after Trump. Your thoughts?
No, I agree totally. Listen, we got to give the president a lot of credit. He's the only president that has taken on Iran consequentially in the 47 years history of this regime, and he's brought us to this place. And what his strategic objective is, he truly wants to reset the Middle East so that there's stability and peace, and an enduring peace that would lead us even to more normalization with the Abraham Accords, with Israel and all the Arab states in the region. That is really the overall objective here. But the impediment is clearly the Iranians. And I think the lack of good faith that they are demonstrating here since April the 8th, when we went to the ceasefire, clearly demonstrates who they really are. And you're absolutely right. Their strategy here with negotiations is to delay them. I mean, how many times have we been hearing that we're close to a deal, and then it goes past, another week goes by, another 2 weeks go by, and we're close to a deal, and it doesn't happen? Why isn't it happening? Certainly, the Iranians, truth be known, are likely never going to meet the maximalist objectives that President Trump is insisting upon, and which is essentially concede everything to the United States. And that is the way it should be. We don't say surrender, certainly, because they're not giving up power, but concede everything that we would achieve through the military operation. And the reason why we're asking them to do that is because we would return to military operations and force it. And I think it's now time to revisit that and recognize full well that the strategy of delaying and delaying and delaying is enabling them to recover quite significantly. They've excavated all their deeply buried tunnels to bring out the ballistic missiles and launch systems that they have there. And they're obviously recovering the drones. So they're gradually getting their strength back. And it makes it that much more difficult when we return to military operations, which I think are inevitable. Now, the good news is, so our audience understands also, is we've been watching them for 8 weeks. So they're excavating deeply buried tunnels and taking ballistic missiles out and launchers. We're watching that, and we're watching where they go with it. So I'm confident that our military operations would be very comprehensive and quite devastating. We have more capability in the region than when we started the war on February the 28th, and the Israelis are flush in deep magazine depth. What shortages they had during the 5 weeks of military conflict, those have all been removed. So we are ready, and we have a very good plan to execute here. And I think the reassessment should take place now, and let's get on with it.
Absolutely. Well, let's see where this goes. General Jack Keane.
I guess we'll know by the morning.
Yeah, maybe even in a few hours, right?
Yes.
Boy, this is interesting. General Jack Keane, we love you. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you very
joining
much,
us.
sir. Thank you.
Great talking to all of you. Thank you very much.
Roger Stone here. Your dollars are losing ground, but gold isn't. American Sovereign Bullion helps you protect your wealth through real, tangible assets. Through their nationwide wholesaler network, you get some of the best pricing on gold and silver delivered straight to your door. Since 1912, the U.S. dollar has lost 97% of its purchasing power. Meanwhile, gold continues to prove its strength. So call 844-272-2428. That's 844-272-2428. Or visit dyingdollar.com to request your free gold and silver guide. That's dyingdollar.com.